Hey guys, so today I have a VOD review that I did about a week ago. It's of my Elite Solo Scrims session from a couple days ago. Hope you guys enjoy. I have a new plan of attack for how I'm going to do these VOD reviews instead of the highlights plan that I originally had. I'm probably just going to cut down my VOD reviews into 15-minute segments of the stuff that I find most important. So hopefully you guys enjoy. I think it's really good digestible YouTube content. Hopefully you do too. Anyways, be sure to use code BUMP in the item shop if you enjoyed, and I hope you learned something.
Positioning
Peace.
as much in solos. So, because I think that a general rule of thumb is if you can see the white line in your map in solos, you're not center enough. And you should probably go more in. I think that's a pretty decent rule of thumb. So, like, you'll see what happens to me this game. Because, like, right now, this is Deadside. I probably could have wrapped, so all of this was free. I probably could have wrapped and came up on, like, south side over here and gotten a building in Slurpee. Instead of being on... So, like, I misplayed hard here. Because I know the congestion's coming from north, just because this is a southern zone. Which means, like, instead of white... I tunnel visioned and I white lined a zone when I should have... If I'm going to play... If you're going to play a power positioning spot like this on edge, you have to be prepared to continue doing edge, like, rotates. So, or, like, edge deadside rotates. So I should have rotated south and came up on south side of Slurpee and chilled in a building over here or something like that. Instead of white lining it into where all the congestion is going to be coming from. So that was just a bad rotate on my part. But I still think I maybe should have gone a little bit more center instead of playing power positioning, because I don't think power positioning like that is worth as much in solos. This situation that I'm in, like how shambles I am, this whole thing comes from a decision that I made 10 minutes ago. And that's something that a lot of people can't, like, see. That's the kind of big picture stuff that you have to be able to look at and notice when you're playing this game competitively. Like, so many people I see on, like, the comp subreddit, like, or just in general, like, people will post, like, clips of them getting lobby sprayed. And they're like, well, what am I supposed to do here, guys? I'm getting lobby sprayed. Like, I'm just unlucky. No, you're not unlucky. You're getting lobby sprayed probably because of something that you did 10 minutes ago. Like, the reason why you're getting lobby sprayed is because of a shit decision that you made 10 minutes ago. Alright, here, let me show you guys that this is the reason why I was shambles, okay? So, like, it's not because I'm getting unlucky with zone, okay? Like, look, I didn't get a single zone here, alright? From second to third zone, not a single zone until first moving. Like, just look at all these zones, okay? And a lot of people just be like, oh, I didn't get zone in solos. This is why I was scuffed. No, the reason why I was scuffed is because of this decision right here. I'll show you guys right now. This is the reason why my game was bad, okay? Look at my situation. Pretty much max mats, full health, 6 minis, big, harpoon, shotgun, scar. I'm chilling, okay? This is the decision that cost me the game. Right here. I rotated east instead of south. This is it. This is the one simple decision. Look at how free south is. Instead I go east into zone. Instead I get into zone and I white line into zone instead of rotating around. This is the decision that cost me the game. That's as simple as it is, guys. This is how, like, minuscule, like, things can be that will cost you a tournament. This is the decision-making process in Fortnite. That right there, that's all it was. That's the reason why my game went bad. Why was South better? South is better because... I don't know if you can see it, but... I'll show you right here. But South is better because there's nobody down here. I don't know why my thing is so fat. Why is my marker so fat all of a sudden? Whatever. South is better. There's, like, no congestion over here. And, like, if I go straight... I don't know why it's so fat now. Oh, wait. Here we go. If I go straight, I'm getting... I think I end up basing up on this spot right here, right? Which is still pretty edge, right? But if I go south, I'm probably still going to get an edge. I would probably get to, like, right here. Right? Which, if you look at it, is pretty much the same amount of edge as the spot that I made it over here. The difference being The difference being that there is a fuckload of congestion up here. There's a shitload of players on this north side of zone just based on how first pulled. But there's nobody. There's nobody on south side. So I would be the same amount of center, but I would have way less people over here to like shoot at me and contest me on my rotate. You know what I'm saying? So like my positioning wouldn't have been that different, but like the rotate opportunities that I would have had from this spot are so much better than the rotate opportunities that I had from this spot. Like I'm constantly getting shot at on this rotate. I'm constantly burning mats. Where if I was south side on dead side of zone, I probably wouldn't have had to burn any mats at all. That's how simple decision making, or like that's how like simple a mistake can be that costs you your game. So I've learned after like seasons of playing this fucking game that rotating up a hill like through congestion never works. So there's gonna be a lot of congestion here, so I'm probably gonna go back east, get some elevation, and then go up. I thought there was a guy in that box. I'm dumb. But look at this. So like I go away from zone first, get elevation, and then I go in. Instead of having to work through... Instead of having to work through this, where there's probably like people boxed up that will have edits on me, I get away from them first, and then I come back and go up. So right here, I misjudge zone, and it gets me killed. So this is a huge misplay by me. I probably could have gotten more placement. So zone reveals, and it pulls this way. And I misjudged. I should have gone through my wood wall. I should have like gotten underneath this ramp, edit checked the wood wall, checked my rotate, and then gone straight across. But instead, I break out the metal wall, and now I'm going parallel away from zone. Like, this was just me tunnel visioning. I should have just taken a breather. I could have gotten top 5 this game really easily. Like, this was a huge misplay. Like, I didn't gain any ground towards zone, and now I'm the only guy. I'm the only guy on this backside of zone, and everybody else is up here, and they all turn around and just beam me. So... I'm getting better about not tunnel visioning, but it still happens. And now I'm out of mats and I have to go towards them. I probably should have gone around to the left. And gotten into these old builds over here. Like, if I'm gonna misplay like this, I still should have, like, done better about, like, correcting the misplay. But, because, like, there's old builds to the left. So, like, right here, I can jump out to the left side over here and get into these old builds, but instead I go out into the right where there's no cover. Like, this is just a giant misstep. So, like, this is just a mini issue, but the main issue was misreading zone and going to the right instead of going towards zone. So, I don't know. And I died. I get pretty lucky with the third zone. So, it didn't pull as left as I thought it was, or like it didn't really pull center. It stayed like right side of zone. Third zone is pretty hard to predict. Like you can never really predict what third zone's gonna do from second. So like you can guess first to second kind of, right? So you can guess like first zone looked like this, kinda. So it wasn't south enough to keep going down to the mountains. And it wasn't east enough to pull to this side over here. So like second zone kind of had to sort of be like a center-ish zone. But like second to third zone is pretty impossible to guess. So second zone is usually like the power positioning phase in Fortnite. But I want to keep going center because I don't like this spot. It's low ground and like in the middle of it's like I'm like in a bowl over here. Like there's mountain here, mountain here, mountain here, mountain here, and I'm in the center of it. So I want to keep getting in and getting center. I ended up getting a pretty good spot here. You don't want to replace the building? No, fuck that. I would rather have a better position. Like I talked about, like, I'm in a bowl right there. So, you gotta think about it like this. Like, if you don't get zone at this house, you're kind of fucked. Because you're low ground, you have, like, late rotate compared to everybody else. And, yeah, like, I don't know. I just don't like how, like, low ground this position is. I would rather spend mats to have a better position. You can tunnel in with extra mats, though. Can you, though? Because you're going to only get wood, pretty much, farming this house, right? And if you try and full tunnel with wood, like, a lot of the time, I get lobby sprayed when I try and, like, tunnel into zone. It happens a lot. Like, especially if, like, zone goes far. I don't know, I would rather have, like, a height position where I am right here than be in, like, a bowl underneath a bunch of mountains. Like, if this ended up getting zone, it might have, like, worked out. Like, or if you got zone here, like, it would have worked out. But, like, you don't want to plan your game around, like, on the chance that you get zone. You know what I'm saying? I lost 100 shield getting a mountain. You probably got over greedy for it. Like, I didn't lose, like, much. I mean, I got beamed when I got to the house, but then I didn't take a single damage point when I, like, actually went to the mountain. So either you're, like, not covering yourself enough on rotate, or you, like, just had a bad rotate, you know? That house is sort of like a very all-or-nothing play. That house is like a secondary option. Especially, you gotta also think about it like this, Rote. Like, I had first rotate to this. Like, it's not like... If I was late, I would probably take the house. Just because, like, I would need to take it out of necessity. But, like, I get third. And I see there's nobody at the house right now. This guy's not opening. Like, and if he does, I can block him off very easily. So, like, I see this spot when I start rotating. Like, I have a goal. When I'm here, I see this, and I immediately know I want to get there. And I have first rotate, so I can get there. But, like, if I was late, and I was, like, coming from, say I was coming from here, this house would be a pretty good spot for me. Like, based on, like, how much distance I had to travel. But, like, I don't know, if you can get center of third in solos, I think it's always worth to go the extra distance and get center. So, two worst case scenarios in this is zone pulls like this, where it's on the island, okay? And if that's the case, then you remember the 3 guys that were all based up right here, right? So, like, I have a very short distance to travel to that, so I'm very confident I can make that rotation. Okay, so that's one option for 4th zone. The other worst case scenario for 4th zone is something like this, where it pulls over here. And as you saw earlier, there's not a lot of people on this side over here, so I have a pretty free rotate into here. So I decide sitting at this spot is the best option for me. Here, we'll see if I can show. So, look, like, if zone pulls like this, where it's mostly on the island with this little corner being in, there's old builds right here that I can go through, and I can, like, just drop low ground, cover myself, burn a little mats, and I'll make it into zone just fine. And if it goes over here, which I think I'll look towards in a second, and if it goes over here, same thing. So, I can use these old builds, get over here, and I should be able to get to here just fine, which is, like, right here on the map. So, like, this spot's really, really good for me right now. All I have to do is just look behind me. I have to, like, look at this side over here and control space to make sure people don't try and box underneath me.